Hi everybody, it's Tristan here from Evolve EdTech, and welcome to our third last video in the 20 Jamboard template series that we have created for you. So this is the third last video that we will be filming for this particular series. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are a returning viewer, if you are a brand new subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for joining us. Today, I'm going to go through and look at one of the classics in terms of graphic organizers and activities, and the T chart. And I think the T chart is a really great template that we could use, especially when we're using Jamboard, when we're being collaborative and we're working together to come up and share ideas. So we're going to go and have a look at that template today, and I'm going to give you some examples of what you could do with this particular template in your classroom. So that's what we're going to do today. Anyway, before we get into having a look at the template, please feel free to go and look at the website. I'm pointing towards my second screen if you're just wondering why I'm randomly pointing to things. So that's what that is. But if I'm pointing correctly and I'm pointing to the recording, it would be just there. So head to evolveedtech.com. Eventually, over time, I hope it's going to become a really great resource for you to go and find inspiration, ideas, infographics, templates, all kinds of things to help you with your EdTech journey in the classroom. I want to share my love of EdTech and using technology with you, and that's what Evolve EdTech is essentially going to be about. So thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't done so far, I would love it if you subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, Evolve EdTech. So by subscribing, it'll motivate me to continue to create content for you and continue to push out stuff that's going to help you develop that capacity with your students and when it comes to using technology. So please don't subscribe, share with your friends, your family, your colleagues, anybody you think might be interested. That would be marvelous. All right, let's head over to the Evolve EdTech website. I'll show you where to find the 20 Jamboard templates if you are new for us. If you are a returning viewer, you should know where they are already, but I'll very quickly show everybody. So if we head over to our website, evolveedtech.com, we head up the top to Evolve Resources, we head down to Jamboard, and we're going to go to eCollection number 1. This is where you'll find our initial 20 Jamboard templates. As we create more, we'll make more e-collections. I'm going to limit them to 20 templates each, just so that they're not overwhelming, and you can go and have a look at those 20 templates. So if you head to e-collection number 1, that's where you'll access the 20 initial Jamboard template, and that is there. All right, it is set up in an accordion style. So you click on one template, it'll give you some information. It'll give you an image of what that particular template looks like. They're available in 4 colors for you to choose, and then there'll be the links for you to download and make a copy of those as you wish. They are in alphabetical order, so hopefully you know your alphabet and you can scroll through to find what you're looking for. Today, we're scrolling down the bottom of the page here to the third last template, the T chart. Now, this is definitely an oldie but a goodie, and I love a good old T chart. I think it's a great tool to use. It's simplistic, but it's a great way of organizing our ideas. So the T chart can be used just like it says here on your screen. We could be comparing similarities and differences. We could be looking at pros and cons, advantages, disadvantages, facts, opinions, all kinds of things we could explore using a T chart. Actually, it's pretty endless, and it's only limited by your imagination, okay? So it's a simple tool that we could use definitely from very young kids all the way up to our older kids. We might be using some visuals perhaps for the younger kids, moving up towards some teacher managed text, and then maybe we have some collaborative text as we move up and the kids get a little bit more competent with being able to share ideas with each other. So you could do a whole heap of things with this template. All right, so let's go and have a look at one of these templates. I'm going to give you a little tip here. Don't go and click on the links, because it will open the link in the current tab. Okay, it's doing that because that's the way that I've set it up in the background. So my suggestion is, unless you want to you don't plan to go back to the Jamboard page on Evolve EdTech, you can open the link. Otherwise, right-click on your particular color that you are after in the template and go open link in a new tab. So this will open the link for that template in a new tab. So we don't actually have to then go back. If we want to go back to those templates, we want to go back and look at some of the other videos or infographics on Evolve EdTech, we can do that rather than having to click the back button or type the website address back into the Omnibox. So once you are in and you have opened up the template that you would like to use, you are going to need to make a copy. So at the moment, you'll be a viewer, so you can have a look at it, but you're going to need to make a copy so it goes into your workspace, your drive, so that you can use it. You can use the editing tools in Jamboard for your particular needs. You can add the text, you can add the sticky notes, you can add the shapes, you can add images, you can do whatever you like using those tools. So to do that, we head up the top here to the right-hand corner. You see the little blue share button? We're not touching that. We're going to these three dots here. Click on these three dots and we're going to scroll down to make a copy. So now this is going to make a copy just for you. It's going to pop it into your workspace, into your drive, so that you have access to that template. So anything that you now do will go in that template, in your drive, so that you can access and share and distribute and do whatever you need to do to your heart's content with that template. So it's a really simple template. We've got two sides essentially, okay? And what we're doing is we're looking at an idea and we're looking at it from maybe different perspectives. We're looking at it from different points of view, okay? And it's a really great way to break up ideas, okay, to get students thinking about something, okay? Great for persuasive writing, great for informative writing, looking at different kinds of literary techniques, music genres, there's all kinds of things. We could even have a bit of a poll here. How are you feeling today? Good, bad, you know, maybe we have a little bit in the middle there where it's kind of like, oh, I'm okay, but you know, could do with some a bit of a chat later on. So there's so many things that you could do with this template. It's limited by your imagination. So that is what's one of the really cool things about this particular T-chart template. So we could do a whole range of things. We could have it as a teacher-led activity where maybe we hop in, we add the topics. So I'd probably add a text box here, scroll up here, add my topic. So insert topic here. Just remember that the editing tools in Jamboard are fairly limited, okay? Nothing really overly fancy. You can change font size, but just be aware of that. You can change the color if you would like to, and you can align your text so you can have your left, right, and center alignment based on your preferences there. So you do have some simple editing tools when it comes to Jamboard, using Jamboard. So we could insert our topic. We could then put in another text box down the bottom here. And just a reminder that because I've changed the color of the font here, my font here is also going to be yellow. So you can see down here that the text box icon here is yellow, which means that my font is going to be yellow here. So I just need to change that font color if I would like to use a different color. So now you can see it's changed again. And I think if we go and change it, you'll continue to see that it'll be this font color will be shown as the icon down here. How cool is that? So you know what color you are using. So you could come here and you could be typing as the teacher, okay, and you could be adding the ideas that the students are giving you to the template here. We could also perhaps use the sticky note function. One of my favorite parts of Jamboard. I love the sticky notes, absolutely adore them, and I don't know why. I just think they're really cool. So we could get the sticky notes and we could pop them in there. So I'm just going to just pop some completely irrelevant generic things here. So we might just pop some in here. I'm just going to put some random text here. A shameless plug there. So we can add our ideas using the sticky notes here. And as I mentioned, adore the sticky notes. And then we just move them into the relevant space in our T-chart, okay? Really easy, really simple. You can adjust the size of your sticky notes, grabbing the corner, okay? You can turn them if you want to, all right? It's completely up to you how you would like to do that. So that's one way you could do it. All right, really simple, really great way to get the students involved. You might share this with the students and get them to add them ideas themselves. You could put them in pairs, in groups, in teams, and then come back together later on and see what ideas they have come up with together. So it's a really easy way to engage and interact with your students, looking at a topic, okay, and looking at their ideas for, against, similar, different, pros, cons, advantages, disadvantages, so many different ways of using this template. So what I thought I'd do is I've just whipped up a couple of example topics or things that we could use this particular template for. I haven't added any content, but I just thought I'd show you some ideas about what we could use. And this is definitely only a very small portion of what you could use this template for in your classroom. So let's go and have a look at the ideas that I have come up with. Now, these were just off the top of my head. And definitely you might come up with much, much better ideas than I have, but at least this might get you started. And that's what I really want to do. I want to get you started. Okay, so when it loads, just do a little bit of dancing for you while we're waiting. All right, so I've got 10 ideas here, and I will show you how to add the extra frames and how to download the information if you would like to share that. After we go through these 11, actually there's only 10 examples. There's 11 frames, but there's only 10 examples here. Okay, so slowly, we are getting there. There we go. We are coming in live now. Fantastic. All right, so I've just got the blank template to start with. And what I will show before we move into the other 10 examples is if you would like to share this template with your students, or you would like to provide one frame, that's what Google calls this space here. It's a frame per student. You can have up to 20 per jam. All right, so just be aware of that. If you need more, you're going to have to create a second jam. Now, a really big piece of advice is to duplicate your frames before you start writing or adding information to them, because once you start adding information to them, if you duplicate them after that, it's going to include everything that you've already had in there. That's fine. If everyone's doing the same topic, it's probably a great idea to put your topic in, then duplicate it. But if you're going to do an example, then duplicate it for the students to use, probably duplicate before you do that. So to do that and to duplicate, we head up here and we expand our frame bar. This is this area up here, and you'll see that I've got all these templates that I have created here and examples I'm going to show you in a second. So we head over to our 3 dots, our magical dots. We click on this and we just click the duplicate button. All right, and that will duplicate that frame for us so that we have another blank template. All right, as I said, if you've got something in there that you created prior that you only want to use as an example, or as a collaborative a template that you've created together, make sure you've duplicated the blank one beforehand, because otherwise the kids or yourself are going to have to go in there and delete them. All right, so just be aware of that. It's a big tip that I have discovered, and I still make the mistake when I'm making the examples for you. I forget to duplicate the blank one first. So simple to forget, but it could be really annoying in the long run. So let's go and have a look at some of these examples that I've created. Now, as I said, these are nothing spectacular, but they are just some example topics, some examples of things that you could do with this template. I didn't want to make these templates complicated. I wanted them to be really easy, really simple, so we could use them. Okay, so my first one here, now this is actually one that I did use with a class. I didn't use this in Jamboard because this is before I discovered Jamboard and the power of Jamboard, but I thought, hey, I might go and use this particular topic here. So for this one here, we were actually watched part of the documentary Wasteland. If you've seen that, really cool. And when I say cool, just really interesting. And we were about to start reading the novel Trash. So what I thought we'd do here is we'd look at the conditions in this particular dump site, this landfill, and then compare it to our own lives here in Australia. So what I was trying to get the students to identify is what it's like to live somewhere where we've got poverty. Okay, it's very dangerous. We're working for a very young age. We're not being paid a lot. There's not a lot of safety. So I wanted students to think about the conditions that the people that were living in this particular landfill and dump site were experiencing. Then I was comparing that with our lives. So, safety, housing, clothing, education, money, all right, all of these ideas. So we were comparing and contrasting the differences in the lives between these two different environments. So that was what my first one. If I was to do this with the kids, I would definitely use the sticky notes, all right, to pop them in there, because I've told you how much I love the sticky notes. Really simple there, okay? All right, the next one. This one, I'm pretty sure, here we go. So just when we're writing, it's great if we have other words to use for some of the things that we say. So other words for sad, other words for happy. We could do a bit of a brainstorm here. Okay, this one, again, we might use this one with lower kids. We might put some images in here. So some examples of natural environments, man-made environments. We might go to our images and add pictures there. We could add text. We could use the sticky notes. It's completely up to you how you'd like to approach this one, but you could definitely use this with those lower grade students. All right, facts and opinions. So what's a fact? What are some facts? What's some opinions? Okay, let's write them down. Let's develop a list to explore that idea. Okay, maybe we're looking at causes and effects of something. So what were the causes of World War I? What were the effects of World War I? Okay, globally, okay, on people, on the environment, okay? So many things that we could explore to look at the causes of an event and the effects of an event, all right? So causes and effects are definitely something we can explore in a Jamboard template. All right, maybe we're looking at traits. Maybe we're writing. Maybe we're exploring. Maybe it's a bit of that emotional well-being, okay? What are positive traits and behaviors that people possess or demonstrate? And what are some negative ones, all right? And we might come up with a brainstorm here together, or the students might do this by themselves. Okay, so this one is a persuasive. So maybe we're brainstorming ideas about why students must wear uniform to school and why students maybe should not be required to wear uniform. In Australia here, it's generally pretty consistent that uniform is expected. It's a way of developing community. It's a way of developing safety, making sure that we know who's on our school sites. So you could brainstorm ideas there and then move that on to writing a piece of persuasive writing, perhaps. All right, the next one here, okay, again, maybe we do this with the younger kids. We find some images. We have Australian animals, and then we have Australian plants, okay? So we have our fauna and flora, and we're identifying those two different areas of our environment. Okay, this one I have definitely done, not with Jamboard, as I've mentioned, because it was before my love of Jamboard, but what are some of those conventions of a graphic novel, and what are those conventions of novels? So I actually teach a graphic novel unit, and we're looking at what makes a graphic novel, and how is it different to an actual novel. So you could brainstorm those ideas, okay, and then talk about the similarities and differences between the two texts. Okay, the last one here, another compare and contrast. So maybe we read The Hunger Games, and then we look at the film. What's similar, what's different between the film, between the novel, all right? So getting students to identify those differences and why there are differences, all right? So just some really simple templates there that you could use in your classroom. As I said, this is only limited by your imagination. So many things that you could do with this. Get the students involved, get the students to do this individually, in teams, in pairs, come back and work on it together as a class. Use the sticky notes, use the images, use the shapes, use the text boxes. It's completely up to you. Now, if you want to share this with your kids, you can do that by heading up to the 3 dots. We can download as a PDF, or we can save our frames as images, share them out in slides, in sites, in Google Classroom, email them, print them, display them, whatever you would like to do. Really simple, but really cool. A great template that I think we should all be using. It's great to get ideas down. It's great for brainstorming, to get started with a topic, an idea, a module, etc. So that is my T-chart template from Evolve EdTech. I hope I've given you a few ideas about how you could use this really cool template and resource in your classroom to help engage your students. All right, just before we head off, just a reminder that if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can get social with us by heading over. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.